Next thing that we're going to do, we're going to apply all of this knowledge to shading our shell. So we're using a smooth technique of shading, smooth shading, to create a smooth surface on the shell. But we want to be using dark, medium and light, dark, medium, light, in order to make this shell look 3D and realistic. My advice when you're starting something like this would be to start in your darkest areas. So this is really dark here, so this is calling for this tone here. And as we see, it blends out, just like our gradient here. So you should be absolutely fine with it because you know how to do this and you know how to do that. The only little catch is that we're having to curve, because this is a curved shape here. This line here is curved, so we're going to follow this line, and as we get closer to this one, our shading will change direction. So nice dark shade along the bottom here, and we're going to bring it out. I'm just going to map out for myself where it comes out to, which is about here. So really lightly with my pencil. About there it starts getting lighter. So I'm going to bring that darkness up, and I want to be entering a medium tone around here. So bring it up and start softening it. Reduce the pressure on your pencil. There we go. And because we're getting near this edge curves that direction. So as I come in, I'm just starting from that top edge here, and as I come in, I'm just blending it into this bit here. So sometimes two directions might meet together, and we just have to layer over the top to make it blend. There we go, like that. And you can keep overlapping it to get rid of any white gaps to make it nice and smooth. If you think I've gone too heavy with my pencil, then all you do, using a rubber, remember we're going to do it nice and controlled like an artist. We're just going to take a little bit back with a rubber, just like that, and just use your finger just to blend it. There we go. So the next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to start off with some of the darkest areas along here, and I can see that the outside edge curves like that. So what I'm going to do with my shading is I'm going to curve it like that as well. Please do turn the paper if it gets a little bit uncomfortable for your hand. You can turn your paper like this if you want to. It's totally up to you. A good artist is looking at the picture 50% of the time, whatever picture they are working from or object that's in front of them, they're looking at it 50% of the time to make sure that they're getting the right tones. There we go, and it fades to white in the middle. Down the bottom here we've got a medium tone. I'm not going to go too heavy. Medium tone, and as it comes up it gets lighter until it fades to white. Nice and soft with a pencil. Now, started there and I've started here, so I've got this nice curve. But we do have quite a long line here as well, so I'm going to do something that I've not taught yet, which is to shade in 2 directions. So we've kept that all in the same direction, horizontal, but now I'm going to go vertical. Sometimes this can be used just to give the shape a little bit more form, to make it look a little bit more 3D. But this time what I'm doing, I'm not keeping my shading lines close together to avoid white gaps. I'm keeping them spread apart and I'm just using lines just to give it a little bit of 3D form. I'm pressing really gently. I don't want them lines to stand out too much, just a little bit. If they do go too heavy, remember, just use your rubber very gently just to take it back. Now, before I move on and do the rest of the drawing, I'm just going to get, just on this bit here, it's a nice light tone. So all I'm going to do, very gently with a pencil, a really nice light tone. I've left some white gaps to help it look really light and tone, and I'm just going to use my finger just to blend it a little bit. If you want that to stand out, just put a little bit of dark behind it. Right, and then we do exactly the same thing as we move along. So I'm going to curve my shading, and I'm going to do a little gradient, which we practiced up here. Go from dark to light. And there we go, we're finished. If you do think you've done any areas too dark, all you do, use your rubber, just take that light back a little bit.